Bite Club is a blood-splattered suit jacket draped on the shoulders of a chic, divisive woman on the way to her lover's house after offing an enemy that was standing in her way. All right, Bite Club. This is the complete Bite Club. It is a collection, basically a trade paperback, of the 6 issues that they did. It is kind of like a vampire crime drama, I guess, created by Howard Chaykin, David Tishman, David Hahn, put out by Vertigo Comics in 2004. Again, it only ran for 6 issues. I would say it is a tongue-in-cheek, irreverent romp into the underworld of vampires and organized crime. There's definitely some gore and violence and sexy stuff, but kind of in a trashy way. It definitely gets bloody. It is self-aware, tongue-in-cheek. There's profanity. So, needless to say, it is for a more mature reader. I don't know. Everyone's got a different line for that, right? So, I don't know, late teens or whatever. But definitely for mature audiences. We've got someone else that kind of quoted. I want to share their quote as to what it would be about. Beautiful, rich, and immortal, these bloodsuckers are masters of backstabbing and infighting. So again, we've got a family here, and with a lot of, I guess, organized crime, stereotypes. We have a family, and it talks about infighting. So we've kind of got a hierarchy. We've got the leader of this crime syndicate, of this organized crime family, has died, and they're leaving someone else in charge, and there's other siblings who have something to say about that. We have kind of our main protagonist, or anti-hero, maybe, on the cover here. This is about the Del Toro family. Risa is the one on the cover here. And, she is what we've already described as a chic, divisive woman. She's powerful. She definitely knows what she wants, and she is not going to let people stand in her way, even if they're her own family. So there's some, again, self-awareness and tongue-in-cheek. We'll go through the visuals in a little minute here, but it's fun. Put it that way. It is entertaining. It doesn't have a lot of layers or big concepts. It's not cerebral or really thought-provoking in any way. It's just kind of like taking this organized crime, drama, gangster-type stuff, inserting vampires into the mix, just as like this family, the Del Toro family, are vampires, right? One of the things that I thought while reading this was that they could have played with that more. I think that the vampire element was just kind of like this fun building block of like, okay, we've got the story of these, I don't know, gangsters, if you want to call them that, this infighting, this drama. It's almost kind of like a soap opera sometimes, and they're trying to make it a little sexy, a little gory. Again, like, I feel like it is self-aware in its kind of trashiness. It's not dressing it up to be anything like super fancy or, again, like conceptual, high-minded, none of that at all. And the vampire thing is just like a fun thing that, like, again, it's kind of a building block, but they didn't build on it or extend it to the point where I felt like they could have, and it could have been really fundamental and, again, extended into the story and plot in a way that could have been really cool. But that's not what they were trying to do. They just wanted to make a tongue-in-cheek, fun thing, and I do think that they did that, for sure. So it kind of just, again, gets into the underworld a bit here in more than one way. It is more entertainment, and it kind of has the novelty of the vampire aspect, you take that out and it's not nearly as interesting or sexy, but it's just meant to be a fun thing, and I think it does that. Um, yeah, I guess it would just be kind of like sexy action. It's not too heady and not conceptual. Art-wise, like I said, we'll kind of get into it here a bit. I would say, and we're looking at mid-2000s here, right? So there's certain things in the style, and especially with what Vertigo is putting out. I'm just showing you a couple pages here. But it's nothing too crazy. I would say artistically, it's not the most visually stimulating thing to look at least for me. But that's just a style preference. That's just aesthetics. They're colored, like pages are basically washed in color here. There's like a whole page being like one color for the most part, but it's kind of random. It's not purposeful, really. So even like artistically, it's one of those times where the covers are definitely, which is a common theme within comics and trade paperbacks, graphic novels, etc., that the cover art seems to be not consistent with what the interior is. The cover art has way more put into it, and the interior is a little more flat and less detailed, which is one thing that I don't like about a lot of comics and why I pick my comics a lot based on, first, just the cover intrigues me, and then I take a look at it, right? But yeah, this is definitely a flatter, less detailed style than what they have for their covers. But the cover was really enticing. I took a look at it and I was like, oh man, like that's kind of cool. I like it. It's fun. And then yeah, through reading it again, it wasn't anything crazy. But definitely gets into the gore, gets into the sex, gets into the family drama, gets into the gangsterish type stuff. But it doesn't go far enough into anything. So for me, this is why I am putting it mid-shelf. For me, it's not something I've seen before, that vampire element into like the organized crime and stuff like that, but it's not wholly original either. It doesn't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm blown away, I've never seen anything like it before, right? The infighting for power and the hierarchical structure of organized crime, it's not new. There's nothing new happening here, really. The vampire thing is fun, but it didn't get fully explored, I feel. And yeah, so it's on the mid shelf because I feel like their intention was just to have it be this fun, light, tongue-in-cheek, self-aware thing, and it's not meant to be conceptual. It's not meant to be too heady. It's not meant to just be exploring all these things in this crazy way. Maybe they didn't get further into it because it just didn't get picked up for longer. Maybe there wasn't enough interest, or maybe it was planned to only be a 6-issue release. Limited run like that. I'm not sure. I would have liked to have seen where it could have gone as a longer series. I also think it'd be really cool I think everything's cool when it's fully explored in a more conceptual manner. But I feel like it could take this concept, because I really like vampire stuff too. I like all the elements that they have here, and I think that they could have put it together in a way that would have been just more serious, and I would have been more interested in that personally. But again, it's mid-shelf for the intentions and purposes. I think it does a fairly decent job of that. But yeah, Bite Club. It is a little older, and it wasn't like this crazy thing that everyone loved and picked up on, so I think it would be hard for you to find. I found it at a used bookstore quite some time ago. Well, not quite, I don't know when. 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. I haven't really seen it, but I haven't been looking for it at other places either. So it's fun. If you come across it and it's the right price, why not check it out if that's the kind of thing you're into? I think that mainly it is for those who want, and this isn't said in a bad way in this context, but want shallow entertainment with a vampiric twist, because I'm definitely down for that sometimes. There it is, Bite Club.